alright, a franchise that should have been extinct and has now come back. I'll give it that. The parallels between the subject matter in this movie and the franchise, and the fact that the franchise is always being resurrected, should have been left in the past, is kind of profound. Probably unintentionally so, but profound. Anyhow, let's talk about it. So Jurassic World Dominion is the third Jurassic World movie or the sixth Jurassic movie, depending on how you want to look at it. Jurassic Park and Jurassic World is kind of like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. You can see them as two trilogies in and of themselves. You can see this one 6-part saga. Funny enough, with the Jurassic movies though, there is a consistent diminishing of quality as it goes on. But in Jurassic World Dominion, it's essentially two movies been fused into one. I actually looked up, is this directed by two different people? Because there are moments where the shot is kind of brilliant and the action sequence is framed up and it's pretty intense, and other shots where it's just choppy as shit. I'm like, this is two different people. Also, the plot itself is two different plots fused into one movie. On one hand, you have the old band getting back together, Ian Malcolm, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Dodgson is working with the rival company of InGen, and he's doing very nefarious things. A super rich, big organization amassing wealth off of a global epidemic. We've never seen that before. Not in our world. Anyhow, so you have the old band gets back together to try to find dirt on that organization. But also, what do you do with Bryce Dallas Howard, Chris Pratt, and the clone girl from the previous movie? She gets kidnapped, so now they gotta go after her. So you see how it feels like two different movies, though they both do tie into the same organization. I feel like in the Jurassic Park movies, there was a concept where it's essentially executed like a disaster movie. I mean, the first Jurassic Park movie is a few different genres went splat and fused together. And we're talking it's 10 out of 10 for every genre it hits. It's a masterpiece and it's a complete and total classic. But they had the concept of executing it like a disaster movie, but when the disaster becomes normalized, that's when Jurassic Park dies. And in the Jurassic World movies, well, the disasters become normalized. It's no longer, oh, if dinosaurs get out there, there's a super scary thing, we can't let that happen, we gotta escape the dinosaurs. Well, now in this world, there's dinosaur black markets and well, dinosaurs are just out there. They're coexisting with people. They're coexisting with nature as we know it. These two worlds been fused together. It's just kind of, people are just rolling with it. Imagine the movie San Andreas. I'm picking a disaster movie at random out of my head. San Andreas it is. Let's say San Andreas got a sequel, but it wasn't a disaster movie anymore. It was a kidnapping movie, and it's just people navigating this messed up coastline that happened in the previous movie. It's just, it changes the dynamic, which is essentially me saying Jurassic World Dominion. It's a kidnapping movie where the parents got to get the kidnapped kid back. Oh, side note, there are dinosaurs in that world. That adds a complication. And now we're navigating this inferior and far more boring version of the Jurassic Park world. I will say this. There were moments of tension that actually did land with me in this movie. I mean, it comes from a shitty part of the real world, or as real as Twitter can make it. It's the backlash that Chris Pratt gets from, I don't know, his religious beliefs, I guess. I'm not on Twitter, that's how it came across to me. But the point is, in terms of Twitter, Hollywood, Chris Pratt's religious beliefs, not really what they dig. All this is to say, when Chris Pratt was running from dinosaurs, I was like, is this the moment they kill him off? Is this some, I don't know. So that actually led to some tension in this movie. I never knew if he was gonna live, and it was surprising. Not every day I can watch a dinosaur chase a lead and not know if the lead's gonna make it. Rest of the movie, quite boring. I'm just gonna say it's way too long because it's two movies wrapped into one. It also, like Jurassic Park 3, has hit that grade B mark where it's like, this is monster movie cheese. But the grade B cheese is like all these huge bugs are on fire and they're flying and they just remain on fire for the longest time. I'm like, how long can you bugs be on fire and live? Also, how long can your wings be on fire and function? In the end, I'm sure I've seen worse movies that feel like two movies fused into one. Doesn't mean I gave a shit about this one. It's kind of fun seeing the old band back together. That's kind of the point of having them in here. But in the end, the movie's a forgettable monster movie that lost anything that made it special in the first place. Well, actually, I gotta say, credit where credit's due. The last, doesn't call it the last act, but it's like the last part of the last act. There's some fun dino action in there. They commit to their grade B monster movie dipshittery, but you know, some fun dino stuff. Too little too late though. It kind of feels like the last mile of a 100-mile trip. It's like, whoa, we just hit a racetrack. better late than never. Glad you woke up and came out to play, but it's kind of, I'm done at this point. In the end, I'm not gonna remember this movie. Not in T-minus 1 day. Yep, already forgot. All right, so Jurassic World Dominion. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. Do you like the other Jurassic World movies, but not this one? Like, how does it compare to the other ones? I'm asking for science, for data. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Yeah, fuck it, punch.